Hey guys, here we go again with another video with the Nissan, the 09 Nissan Altima. What we have this time, 78, which says something about the stepper motor in the transmission, the function of it. Something's wrong there. The most likely cause of that is the actual stepper motor. These transmissions are known for this. Now, you got to make sure that you have a good connection. I have to take the pan out, drain the oil, take the pan out, remove the valve body. And on the other side of the valve body, I'm gonna find the stepper motor. On some other CVT transmission, the stepper motor is right on the valve body, but you'll see it once you take off the pan. You will see it right there. Not in this one, not in this 09 Nissan Altima. That's the style of transmission. So come with me and I'll show you. So step one is jacking up the car. Once you're underneath the car and the car is 100% secure and safe for you to go underneath it, locate the transmission oil pan. What you want right there. All the oil is dropping down on the pan, and that's what we want. See how I got most of the bolts out of the back of it. These are actually loose. The ones on the side are loose. A few threads, and that allowed the pan to drop. Okay, once it's drained completely, then I'll remove the pan completely, and I'm gonna leave the pan overnight on here because I know that oil is just gonna continue to drip. Not like this, but some. And I think I wanna do this tomorrow morning. So that's how it ended up looking when I start loosening these bolts up just a little bit, still controlling the oil flow. And remember, now I can take it off. There's still going to be some oil in here. You have to be careful, okay? You have to be very patient. Take your time. Don't try to rush it. Fight that urge. Because I'm the type of person who wants to just get it done, and I also got to fight that urge. So tranquilo way. Take it easy. And there it is, guys. The pan is off. That's the valve body. And I have to remove the valve body. I gotta remove the filter. And on the other side of this, that's where the stepper motor is located. On some transmission, the stepper motor would be like on the side somewhere where you can actually unbolt it, remove it, replace it. But not on this one. This is the difficult one. So it's the first time for me. Should be good. We don't have to take all them bolts out. There's some on the outside. Some of the outside bolts gotta remove, and around it. I think this one has to be removed. Definitely the ones for the filter, because there's older bolts underneath it. This one gotta be removed because I have to have access to this one and to this one. And I think this rod also goes through it. I think this is part of your linkage of your, when you move the lever from park to drive, this moves. But I'm gonna let it drip like that overnight because I'm trying to control the mess, and I'm not in a rush to do this at all. Okay, so I'm gonna let that drip overnight and come work at this tomorrow at some point, and I'll show you what bolts need to come out. And if I'm not mistaken, some of these bolts are all different sizes. So I think I'm gonna make like a drawing on a piece of cardboard, and I'm gonna remove each bolt and place it into where to match the picture to the location. All right. Okay, fellas, so we're back underneath the Nissan. It's been 2 days. It's been raining. Finding it a little bit dry. So I ended up, let me turn the camera around. I ended up removing the filter and exposing all the bolts that I'm going to be taking out. I made up a cardboard picture of where the bolts are going to be located so that I don't mess up the bolts, because I think they're all different sizes, and if I'm not mistaken, these are the ones that got to come out, which is the way it's going to be sitting like this. It's mostly on the outside, so you can tell outside. If you're not careful, if you're doing this job, just make sure that you don't take this one off. And there's another one with a nut. See how it's a bolt and nut? There's another one here. Don't take those off. They stay on. I think that holds the valve body together because it's 2 pieces. Yeah, so make sure you don't take those off. I'm gonna make sure, and I'm gonna obviously let you guys see it and tell you all about it. But that's my plan. I'm gonna take some bolts out and I'm gonna locate them here so that I don't lose the space where they go. It doesn't get lost. All right, I'll show you when I'm done with that part. Okay, so far I got this many bolts out, and it dropped. I'm working on this one right here, and it already dropped. So I don't think I need to take these 2 off like I have on here. That should be the last one then, because it's pretty loose now. That's just dripping oil, guys. This is a messy job, so you gotta take your time. There's oil. Now it's been dripping for 2 days, and look, now that I unbolted it, it continues to drip. Okay guys, I got the valve body out completely off. Has a couple of plugs you gotta remove. Easy ones. You gotta squeeze and pull, and that's it. It's that easy. Up there, up in there, that's the belt and the, I don't know what they call it, but there's the wheels that the belt turn, like the belt pulleys. And in here are the clutch packs for forward or reverse, and this is what makes the gear ratio change when you're going forward. Basically what changes the gears, there's no gears, so the gear ratio, we're gonna call that. This is, I think this is the oil pump for the transmission, one of them. And this is the pressure regulator. Now you guys know from the previous video, this transmission was acting up, and I changed the oil and filters, and I got it to run and move nice. Now it's acting up with the stepper motor. That's the only code that it gave me, so hopefully that's the problem now that was making it slip, because the oil looks pretty clean. Here are basically the diagram of the bolts that I remove to be able to remove the valve body. I think I got a picture that I can leave for you guys in the video, but you can take this as reference too. Pause it, look at it, look at the drawing before I messed it all up, got it all dirty. And the reason why I did that is because the bolts, most of them, they're all different length. Like these are the same, but then you got some shorter ones and you got some medium-sized ones. I didn't want to mess that up and lose the position where they go, the location. The nut, that nut, that's a bushing that came out of the valve body. It just dropped, so make sure you put this back in. It goes on this rod. But obviously when you put the valve body, this rod goes right through it. So before you put the nut in that little arm, make sure you put the bushing in. And that nut is 14 millimeter. Have a location ready when you take the valve body. It's going to drip oil. You can let it drip some and then remove the plugs and then have a place ready for it because it's gonna be wet. Have another cardboard and maybe a table or something where you're gonna be working. I'm gonna show you where I put mine. So like I was saying, guys, have a place to put the valve body. This is where I put my valve body, and because it's still dripping oil. Here's the stepper motor. You're gonna require to take this plug out and remove these two bolts. They're metric, and I don't know exactly what size it is. I think that's an 8 millimeter. Just gotta remove them, take it out. Here's the new one. I got this one through Amazon. Paid about $30. It looks the same. Hopefully it works for a long time and it doesn't give me any problems. Once you have the valve body like this, you can identify what these things are. These are your solenoids. These are your oil pressure sensors, stepper motor, and I don't know what these are, but this is where the plugs went on the car from the harness to control all this. Yeah, that's what that is. Another thing, once you take the stepper motor out, make sure that this moves freely. If for some reason this is hanging up, this might be your problem, because the stepper motor moves that part and that has to move freely. You see how it engages right in there? Make sure you put it back and engage it right in there. This comes right off. Make sure it's clean. Give it a good inspection. Make sure it's in good shape. Put it back in. All right, I'm gonna go change it, and then I'm gonna give you another tip on the installation process. All right, fellas, I changed the stepper motor. Here's the old one. Here's the new one. The linkage is where it needs to be. And now for the installation, you have to find an Allen wrench or anything that fits in that little hole to hold this arm in place. It needs to be there for the installation. So you gotta just turn it around. There's the Allen wrench right there. Put it right through it. Of course, I'm gonna lower it so that it doesn't bother anything on the installation. But even I think it gets pushed back down to where it's level with the arm once I put it up with a couple of bolts. You need to do that. If you don't do that, you're gonna mess it up. This arm will not be put in place and your transmission is not gonna work. Make sure you don't miss this little step. The stepper motor, I paid $30. I got it through Amazon. I set that. Here is the part number. Made in China, like anything else. Now I can't tell you if this is a good stepper motor or not. I'm just telling you what I'm doing and how I did it. I don't know what brand it is, but they seem to all be costs around anywhere from $25 to $40 on Amazon and eBay. So hopefully it's a good one. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to the car and install it. Don't forget to do this part. Don't forget to plug it in. Don't forget to put this in. All right, let's go. All right, guys, I'm ready to put the valve body up on the transmission. But I wanted to show you again the reason why you have to have this lever in that position held by an Allen wrench, a nice Allen wrench to fit right in there. It's because this part is gonna engage here. Right in there, right on this part. It's gonna pivot from here. And I don't know if it moves something here or what it is, but that's where it needs to sit. I'm assuming that it moves that part somehow. There's the band. It looks pretty healthy. It looks pretty clean, to be honest. Everything looks really good on this transmission. I don't know. This O-ring, I've heard that this O-ring can fall out. Make sure that it doesn't fall out. Make sure that it's in good shape. I think that O-ring seals with, which part? Let me see. So that's close to this. I think it sits right here. So that has to seal here, if I'm not mistaken. Now guys, I'm not a transmission guy. I'm a guy working on a CVT transmission. Never done this before. I watched many videos and read a lot online, different forums. I'm seeing pictures, and I'm just doing what I can, try to fix this transmission. All right guys, well, let's get it. I gotta place it here, put the connectors on, and slowly put it through this shaft and place it where it sits nice, and then I'm gonna start putting some of those bolts on. All right, the valve body's back on. It's looking the same way I took it off, guys. Here, don't forget your bushing and your little lever connected to this right here. Don't forget to put your lock nut in nut. Go around, check every single bolt that you removed. Try not to cross thread them, try not to torque them down too tight. I do not know the torque spec on it, so I looked up online real quick and I can't find it. So if anybody knows, please leave it in the comments to help out whoever's watching this video. Take your time, guys, it's easy. You gotta put your plugs in place while the valve body's hanging. Make sure you plug them in all the way. Make sure all the wires are sitting where they need to be sitting on the holders. There's a holder here, there's a holder here. Like I said, don't forget your bushing. But before you do this lever, you have to make sure you put this bolt in the one, and this one. There's two. Make sure you put those in first and make sure everything's tight. So basically do this last. All right, what's next is the filter and the pan, and we gotta go get oil and all that good stuff. Another thing, guys, as you're holding the valve body up with one of your hands, make sure you place your hand on this, on the Allen wrench holding the little arm in place, because it will drop on you while the valve body is still hanging, not bolted down. So hold the valve body up with one hand, but make sure at least one of the fingers is holding this in place. And with the other hand, start bolting it down to where it's up there enough, and then you can pull this out. Make sure it's bolted, but at least 4 bolts sitting where it needs to be sitting, up. Then remove this. Otherwise it's just gonna drop. If you're not holding it, this thing's just gonna drop. So be careful. All right, fellas. Once I was done with the car, putting all the oil and driving it around, at first they gave me the code for the stepper motor again, and it was acting up. I drove it a few times. What I would do, I would stop, shut the car off, turn it back on, and it would drive better for a little bit. Then it would act up again, and I would do the same thing. I had to do that maybe 4 times, but every time I noticed the car would shift better, and it would run better, and it would take longer to act up. Right now, the car's running good. I step on it, and it doesn't slip or nothing. It just does what it's supposed to do. Yep, you can tell. So after driving it for a little bit, the car is working perfect the way it should. Now I can focus on the other things that I have to repair on this car. But it seemed like the stepper motor and the new oil worked itself through the whole system, and the car is working. So if you have any questions, guys, please let me know in the comment section. If you like this video, please like, share with a friend, subscribe, it's free. Thank you for watching, fellas. Have a blessed day.